All right, let's dive straight in. We're setting the scene in Paris, late May. You've got the sun, the iconic red clay of Roland Garros. It's buzzing.
Definitely. And the focus today, well, it has to be Coco Gauff, doesn't it?
Absolutely. She's what, 21 now? Seeded number 2, U.S. Open champ. Everyone knows her game, or thinks they do.
Right, because you expect that, baseline power, the speed, and she brings that. But this year in Paris, well, it's been interesting. There's more to it.
Interesting is one word. Layered, maybe. It's this mix, isn't it? Elite tennis, obviously, but then these moments that are just so...
Human, relatable.
Exactly, relatable, which is kind of wild for a global superstar athlete.
Well, that's why watching her is never dull, I think. One point, she hits a shot that maybe like 3 other people on the planet can hit. The next minute, she does something that makes you remember, oh, yeah, she's 21, figuring things out under this massive microscope.
So that's what we're doing today. We've gathered the info from her first couple of matches here. We really want to, unpack it. Look at the key plays, the surprising, maybe struggles, and what's actually pushing her through.
Okay, let's do it. Where do we start? Has to be the rackets, right?
Oh, definitely. Where else? Tuesday, May 27th.
Yeah.
Court Suzanne Lenglen. She's about to play Olivia Gadecki in the first round. Warming up, crowd's ready.
And she goes for the racket. And there's just nothing. That pause, you could almost see the thought bubble like, uh-oh.
I mean, can you imagine? A Grand Slam, Roland Garros, and you've forgotten the main tool for the job.
It's like showing up for an exam without a pen. But, a million times more public.
Right, but her reaction was just perfect. That little sheepish grin, the shrug to Gadecki and the umpire wasn't panic. It was just kind of funny.
Yeah, it totally broke the tension. You felt the whole place sort of exhale and laugh with her, not at her. And then, boom, internet explodes.
Of course it did. People love that stuff. And didn't Francis Tiafoe do something similar once?
He did. They probably texted about it later. But Coco, she just owned it. Joked about her drinks bag being too heavy.
Well, yeah, the post she put up, the mock to-do list with put tennis rackets in bag unchecked. Brilliant.
Totally her style. But here's the crazy part, right? The ball kid makes the sprint, the rackets arrive.
And she just goes out and plays lights-out tennis?
Yeah.
6-2, 6-2, dominant.
Like nothing happened.
Yeah.
Forgetting the rackets didn't mean she forgot how to play.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Okay, switch flipped. Job done. But then we get to Thursday, May 29th, second round.
Yeah.
Young Czech qualifier, Teresa Valentova.
And this time, we know for sure rackets were secured beforehand. Progress.
Progress on the logistics front, yes. But, a new theme emerges. The serve.
Yeah, that was noticeable. Watching it, it didn't have that usual rhythm, did it? It felt a bit, I don't know, nervy, inconsistent.
The stats back that up, too. Broken 5 times. And 4 of those were just in the second set alone.
Oof, yeah. 6 double faults. And actually fewer winners than Valentova, who's only 18. 11 winners for Coco, 16 for the qualifier.
So you hear that, and you think, okay, maybe this is a 3-setter, a real struggle.
No, she wins 6-2, 6-4. Pretty straightforward scoreline in about 75 minutes.
So how does that happen? How do you get broken 5 times but win comfortably?
Well, this is where the other side of Gauff kicks in. Her return game. It was, frankly, unbelievable.
Okay, explain that.
Every single time Valentova broke her serve. Like every time. Coco broke right back in the very next game. Immediately.
Wow. So Valentova gets the break, feels like she has momentum.
And Coco just snatches it right back. Like dropping your ice cream and instantly getting a new one, you said earlier, it just erases the mistake.
That's an incredible weapon to have in your back pocket, isn't it? Especially when your own serve is maybe not firing.
It completely neutralized what Valentova was doing well. But, this serve thing, it's not exactly out of the blue.
Right. We've seen it before. Indian Wells this year, wasn't it? March, she had something like 30 double faults in her first 2 matches.
Yeah, it was a lot. It's clearly something she and her team are focused on. She's been, tweaking things, the grip, the motion.
You brought in that specialist coach too, right? Matt Daly.
Yeah.
Back in September.
Exactly, a grip specialist. So this is a conscious, long-term project. It's just happening very, very publicly, which must be tough.
And you have to think other players notice this, right? They see the numbers, they watch the matches.
Oh, for sure. It's like sharks smelling blood, maybe. Too dramatic. But they know it's an area they can potentially target. Belinda Bencic basically said as much after Indian Wells.
What'd she say?
Something about sensing the tension, especially on the forehand side, maybe linked to the serve setup. They definitely try to exploit any perceived weakness.
Even her dad, Coco Gauff, who's usually pretty direct.
Yeah, he was quite blunt about it, wasn't he? He said something like, she's got to serve better. And crucially, it's not a break until you hold.
Meaning you can't just rely on breaking back every time. You need to consolidate.
Yeah.
Hold your own serve.
Exactly. It's not always sustainable to just out-return your opponent's breaks.
So these first two matches, they paint this really complex picture, don't they? You've got the Grand Slam champion power, the athleticism, but then you've got the serve wobbles and the, forgetting the racket.
It's the paradox, right?
Yeah.
How can she be so dominant yet have these moments?
Yeah.
But maybe that's the key.
What do you mean?
Maybe her real superpower isn't flawlessness. Maybe it's the resilience, the mental game, that grit to just figure it out, even when things aren't perfect. Someone called it solving a Rubik's Cube while it's on fire.
I like that. It feels chaotic, maybe, but she finds the solution.
And she seems to have this incredible perspective now. She's talked about loving the sport more, turning pressure around, believing it only takes a match or two to get confidence back.
And that whole idea that slumps are temporary, but grit is forever, that's pretty profound for 21.
It really is. Plus, let's not forget her history here, in Paris.
Right. She loves the city, mentions the croissants.
Who doesn't? But seriously, Roland Garros has been a significant place for her. Since she was 15, she made the final here in 22.
Semis last year, won the doubles last year, too.
Exactly. So she knows she can play well on this surface, in this environment. That has to count for something, even if her big runs ended against Iga Swiatek.
Yeah, that's a tough hurdle for anyone here. But still, that experience matters. And you hear other players talk about her, too.
Definitely. Madison Keys, Vondrousova, they talk about her toughness. Even Bencic, while pointing out weaknesses, acknowledges how hard she fights.
Okay, so that sets up her third round match, Saturday, May 31st. Another Czech player, Marie Bouzkova.
Yep, and Bouzkova's a different kind of test again. She's known for being incredibly solid, a grinder, gets tons of balls back.
So not necessarily someone who's going to blow Coco off the court with power.
Probably not.
Yeah.
It's more likely to be a physical battle, a strategic one, like you said, a bit of a chess match. Gauff's firepower versus Bouzkova's consistency,
Yeah.
her ability to just be that pesky pawn and extend the rallies.
Which really puts the spotlight back on Coco's game, doesn't it? Particularly the serve.
Absolutely. Can she find that consistency against someone who will make her play extra balls?
Yeah.
Who won't give her many free points?
Or does that incredible return game and mental strength just carry her through again?
Can she keep solving that Rubik's Cube, even if it feels like it's, still smoldering a bit?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's going to be fascinating theater. Because the potential is obviously huge if she gets through these trickier early rounds while still maybe finding her best form.
So, summing up this early part of her Roland Garros, it's been pure Coco Gauff, really. Talent, absolutely, but also vulnerability, humor, and just sheer, undeniable mental fortitude.
Yeah, you never quite know what you're going to get, but you know it won't be boring. It's gripping tennis mixed with these moments that just make you nod and go, yeah, I get that. And it does leave you thinking as you watch the rest of the tournament unfold. For any top athlete, really. When you have a known weakness, something persistent like a serve that comes and goes, what is it about the other stuff? The mental game, the fight, the ability to bounce back instantly. How much does that compensate? Is overcoming your own internal battles sometimes just as important, maybe even more so, than beating the person across the net?
That's a great thought to chew on.
Yeah.
How much is the match within the match? Definitely something to keep in mind as we watch Coco and really all these top players navigate the pressures of a slam.